was about 10 years old, a friend of my dad's pulled a coin out of my ear. It had a tremendous effect on me, and it made me want to be a magician. And I went through the normal phase of magic sets, and I even went through a card handling phase, but then I found that I was simply much more creative with coins. And most magicians don't realize that I was very lucky and that I grew up knowing some very, very fine card magicians like Darwin Ortiz and Ricky Jay, and I was Mike Skinner's roommate for months and months. And all these people helped me with my card magic, which I very rarely do for magicians, but I felt that I was just much more creative with coins. Well, I think it's harder, but I think advanced card magic is also equally difficult, and I think some card men might disagree with what you're saying. But a good way to practice magic in general is only use the mirror for checking. If you really practice in front of a mirror too much, you tend to blink every time you do a secret move because you want it to look good in the mirror. And this can translate over into your actual performance. So you should only use a mirror for checking. What's even much more deadly than a mirror, because a mirror won't show you everything, especially if you blink, but it was a really tough judge is a video camera, because the camera doesn't blink and it doesn't look away. And it's a brutal, brutal eyewitness of what you're doing. But again, that's the way you practice. I read somewhere in an old book that rather than practicing for, let's say, an hour straight on a move, you should practice the move for about 20 minutes and then stop for about 10 minutes. They say that it makes the muscle memory work faster. But I will leave this up to you. I think for an amateur magician, quarters are good because you can borrow them from somebody, and it's very convincing to do magic with borrowed props. As a pro, you can carry around the coins that you want. I know a lot of magicians like dollars because it's a big coin, and they certainly do show up well, but some of the best coin workers worked on stage with half-dollar size coins. I'm talking about people like T. Nelson Downs and Alan Shaw used half-dollar size. I prefer a half-dollar just because they're easiest for me to hold in my hands. Well, we just released a download, and the proceeds from that are going to go to a relief effort in Japan. And I happen to like Japan very much. I've been on television there several times. I've been there about 8 or 9 times. I even took a Berlitz course for 6 months. I tried to learn the language. I found it very difficult, which is why I'm very impressed with Max Maven, who taught himself to speak Japanese and now hosts programs over there, although unfortunately I don't think any magicians will be going to Japan for a while. But Japan is great, the culture is great, the food is great, and they're really having some problems over there, and this is our way of helping out. I love the formal sit-down routines with the props because they let you do tricks that are maybe 3 minutes long, and that's rare in coin magic. But for walk-around, you need things that you can work out of your pockets, and then you do the classics. Coins across ending in their hand, copper silver again in their hand, karate coin, eraser coins, things like that that are very visual. You can do them anytime, anywhere. Well, one of my favorite stories, because he actually said this to me, was I was doing a coin trick for the professor at the Magic Castle, and I dropped the coin, and it rolled away. And I started to get up to get it, and he said, "No, David, I'll get the coin. You stay here, I'll get it." And he got up, and he retrieved the coin. And just as he was about to hand it to me, he said, "David, have you ever noticed if you drop a coin on the floor, invariably it'll roll under a table, it'll roll under a chair, it'll roll 20 feet away. Do you know why that is?" And I said, "No, Professor, why?" He said, "Coins don't like to be dropped. That's why they run and hide." And he gave me the coin and he walked away gibbering to himself. Coins don't like to be dropped. And that's true, and that's what I write on a lot of lecture notes and a lot of people who buy my book, because it is true. Coins don't like to be dropped.